Well, my name is Begoña San Jose, Bego, and I'm a founder of B&Go. And B&Go is a company that is dedicated to boosting resilience across the healthcare. Before joining the program, I think I was very busy all over the place. So I was the whole day with meetings and preparing material and doing lots of things, but without having a clear sense of direction or a clear objective about where I was going or what was the expected income or the impact that I would be having in my clients. I think the wake up call for me was to realize that with a simple conversation with you, Juan, at the time, it was, what am I really doing? I cannot even tell in a nutshell what I'm doing and what is my objective, what I'm working on. And now I'm very proud to say that I'm contributing to zero burnout in healthcare. So that is the change that your program represented for me. So I think it's quite clear. I had always been working in healthcare. That is my niche. That is where I had most of my professional experience. But when it came up to bringing my own venture and my own startup into a place, given my expertise in the field, was an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. So on the one hand, I was a super expert, and on the other hand, I wasn't able to bring that expertise to make something useful for my potential client. And I couldn't really believe or see that the field was big enough and large enough for me to be comfortable positioning my program and my products within a niche.
And so what was the work that we did in order for you to then overcome those challenges?
First one is to define the target audience, and that was a critical first step, I would say. And once you have a clear problem definition, what is your target audience looking for, then it's easier to identify what kind of products and services you can put in place to solve that specific problem. So systematizing the offer and being able to say that we have one product, one solution for one client was one of the things that keeps on coming back to my mind every once in a while, although I already have one product, one service for one target audience. And then everything that goes along the lines with that. So once you have decided that, you just leave behind and leave aside all the things that are not related to solving that specific problem. So what else did we do? We learned a lot of things and on a lot of tools on how to go from A to Z. But I think that the core is on really defining that and making sure that what you have in place is scalable and is one thing, and you're not reinventing the wheel every time the customer comes to you, or every time that you start talking to a potential customer, you're not saying, and I'm doing this, and I also did that, and I also, no, it's very clear what you're doing, and I have this 6-module program for teams in the healthcare industry to bring them to a place where they can be resilient and sustainable in the long term. So that is the difference between the before and after, I said earlier. So it's just being able to say, this is what I do, this is how I do, this is how I impact your team and your my target audience, basically.
Yeah, I can see. You can see my smile. I mean, we haven't spoken in a while, so it's just so nice, really, to hear you with that confidence and clarity, that you can stand behind what you're offering and what you're delivering and what you promise, because it was all there. I mean, you have the expertise, you have all this. It was just a matter of structuring it and following a system so that you can present it.
Yeah, putting it together is part of it. Of course, some challenges still exist, so identifying the customer at the right moment in their journey so that
Hmm.
you can actually, you don't have to convince them they have a problem. They are already aware of the problem and how your solution is actually what they are looking for. Is part of what we're trying to do right now. Trying to identify at what moment they are not saying no. I can still go on and I can still go on, although half of my team is not gone. They cannot really come up to work. They haven't come up with an innovative idea in a century, and so on and so forth. So how long or how big is that pain, or how aware or unaware they are of the gain of doing things differently, and whether they have the ability to invest the time and money and resources they need to go from A to C. So it's, if I summarize, it is translating my own experience into theirs. So my pain was not big enough until I did talk to you and I realized I could be doing a lot better. And I think that's the transition that I would like my clients also to see. Like, I didn't know that I could be doing better until I saw, yeah, that this actually made sense and it was what I was looking for. I think it has to do also with the confidence that you gain along the process. So all this self-sabotage that comes and the roller coaster of running your own business comes into play as well. And having somebody by your side that has walked the talk before and is still walking the talk and is supporting you throughout the process, it helps build that self-confidence that you also need to make the transition from being a super expert into delivering something concrete, specific, with specific outcomes as well.
You have mentioned a couple of things. I would like to ask you is a little bit more about some of the aha moments in the process, or some places where you encounter some challenges to really internalize or shift the way that you see the business. Does anything come to mind?
The first one was the realization of how much business am I actually generating and how much potential business I can generate. Is was one. The second one, certainly being able to stand behind my prices, because I learned through the program how my prices are built up and what are my fixed and variable costs that should be translated into putting a price to my product instead of underselling, and knowing that cheap is not a strategy, it's just a defense mechanism, for example, and that manage the transition of having one foot on the old boat and the other foot on the new boat, and being able to say, hey, when can I move both feet to the new boat? I think is where some of the critical moments. Of course, the temptation of going back to the known and to the comfort zone of what I had been doing or thought before, that was it. And then it's always noise. Sometimes comes every once in a while, and you say, well, maybe I should be doing something else, and so on. But it's trusting on the process, and I think it's the other sentence that comes back to mind when you're saying this, maybe not aha, but ahaha, 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 ahaha. So it comes back and back and back, and we say, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process.
Yeah. So when you need to, when you see where you are today and where you used to be, maybe can you tell me a little bit about that transformation? So where overall now that you see the results that you have achieved, where were you? How were you feeling before, and where are you now, and how do you feel about it?
I'll start from the end. I'll feel proud, and I am very proud of the journey that I've made and the transition that I've experienced for myself and for the team. And of course, the team is another one of the big transitions, maybe. So, being able to let go, and when people ask me how can you deliver and how can you do things, and say, well, my team does, no, not for me. So I'm the founder and CEO of the company, and I have a team of professionals that can deliver what I'm saying that we can deliver and can make a difference in your team, is because they do have the relevant expertise to do it, and to do it even before me, or better than what I do, because that's what they can do. So it's part of that is also moving from I can do it all to choosing where is my time best spent, my energy, my expertise, my network, my everything, and how can I put that at the service of what I'm building. and outsource, collaborate, and build a team around the rest of the things of the less critical parts or the ones that don't depend necessarily on me. And quite honestly, at the beginning, I, like many entrepreneurs, I guess I'm used to rolling up my sleeves if I had any today and doing it all and learning to work with people and to be able to do it professionally is a very different thing. So I think that's certainly part of it. And of course, this show up and pitching and being able to tell with confidence what you're doing, I think is in my case, is the biggest transformation.
So if somebody's looking at this video and is thinking of maybe reaching out or joining, working with me, joining the program, um, I have two questions. Like, who do you think should join? Um, and what can you tell to that person?
I think the program is amazing for somebody that that wants to reach more people, that wants to make a bigger impact than what they're currently doing, that want to maybe not achieve a financial growth or a business growth in that sense, because I think many of us are driven by that ability to impact people. And I think that running a successful business is what allows you to reach more people. And that's something that, yeah, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But when you're working on a number of different things, you don't see how that is incompatible with you being or your business depending 100% on you being present or not going on holiday or not taking time off or anything else. And in my case, is clearly aligned with what I do anyway. So if I am promoting zero burnout in healthcare, I, I support that my own business, which is also operating in the healthcare industry, should be sustainable by itself with or without me, which is also a lesson better learned by what the others tell you than having gone through it myself. So I haven't gone through it myself because I have taken the precaution and the system and the processes that my business can run without me. And I think that that is the key issue. So it's not being 100% and 24/7 on, but making sure that your business can still deliver even if you are not 24/7 on, which I think is what makes it sustainable and scalable in the first place.
And do you have like a type of business owner that comes to mind that should join, that you know that this will work for them?
Well, it would work for anyone like me, for sure. So that's small consulting firms, for example, boutique consultings or entrepreneurs that actually were able to take a step out of corporate or out of any other field, for example, would be a nice fit because they know the technical knowledge is there, the expertise is there, and it's very different to run it from within as an employee, as an entrepreneur. So maybe for anybody in that transition from working for someone and working on something else and getting to people that work for them is probably a good moment. Whether that is industry dependent or industry independent, I don't think is relevant. I think you convinced us, and we could see in parallel with the rest of the participants of my cohort the similarities and the parallelism, and being able to look at the challenges my colleagues were facing at the time also helped me step out of my own problem for a while and see how that reflects in my own business as well.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking the time and having this call. And yeah, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I would like to only say thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, and maybe thank you one more time because it was really fundamental for me. So it's really one of these things that changed the way I run my business. So I did take leadership programs when I was in employed, and I think this is an equivalent for when you are an entrepreneur is getting the tools and the support you need to make it to the next level. So thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure working with you, and I'm really happy to see where things are now. And yeah, I really hope that that we continue to stay in touch and
Of
we can
course.
see that progress. I mean, we are on LinkedIn and we get to see each other. So
Of
yeah,
course, thank
yeah.
you.
All the best.
And I wish you all the best as well.
Thank you. Ciao.